Hi, my name is Steven. I'm a client strategist with Find My Profession and also a certified interview coach with Find My Profession. I actually help job seekers around the world with their job interviews and also help them with salary negotiations. So today I wanted to talk to you about a simple topic: how to crush an intro call with a recruiter. Let's get this out of the way. What is an intro call? It's pretty much the screening call when a recruiter calls you up to make sure that you're worthwhile of passing along to another hiring manager to move along in the interview process. So, step one of crushing an intro call with a recruiter: demonstrate quickly that you know the basics. Okay. The people that you talk to in screening calls are not going to have an extensive knowledge into the position as you might. They might have experience from hiring people like that, but their knowledge is pretty much only summary. They're not engineers, they're not scientists, they're not technicians. They are recruiters screening to make sure that you are worthwhile of passing along to somebody else. So when you look at the basics of a job description, something like the qualifications or job requirements, make sure that you're just able to click and check off each single one when you're discussing the job with them. A good way to do this before the screening call is to create maybe like one or two sentences for each bullet point to show that you have something to talk about when they ask you. Step two: show that you're truly interested. I'll be honest with you, nowadays it's not enough to be qualified just to get a job. You have to be more than that. You have to be accountable. You have to actually care about the place that you're going to work. And you have to be interested in it. So, how do you show that you're interested in a job? The basic way that you do that is you do research on the company. You look into it. You look into the press section of a website, which they spend a lot of money on building, by the way, and read about all the important news to that company and see, is what's important to them as important to me, right? So, one of the great ways to show that you're interested is to be more informed. Research the company, research the things that they talk about. Shoot, go on YouTube videos and look to see if the person you're interviewing with had ever done a YouTube video before. There are great ways to do this. And the more that you are researching the company, you are, by actions alone, showing that you are interested. Those who pretty much just say, oh, I'll just figure it out and I'll wing it, yeah, that doesn't really show much interest. And it really shows when they start to ask you questions during the call. All right, number three: culture fit. You have to show you're a culture fit. I'll give you a quick story about this. I had an interview once with a tech company for a customer service manager role, and it just so happened that the industry that this job was in was fashion tech. All right, now I live in New York City, and fashion is a big deal here, so I knew something about it. But culture fit, not really. I think if you could see just by the shirt that I'm wearing here, I'm not much of a fashion guy. And when you go into an interview for a customer service manager job, and you could see that everybody sitting around the table interviewing you is dressed like they're ready for, a red carpet on Hollywood, I mean, I just knew I was wrong right away. The one way that you really want to show that you're a culture fit, though, is to nailing down exactly if the company has the same temperament, values, and ideals that you do. So if you can research into, like, what the team looks like, go through their employee list on LinkedIn, look at again at their press pages, look at the marketing centered around that, and you can see that maybe I'm a culture fit. And then sometimes you could look at it and go, maybe not. I mean, I've had, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you can't do the job. Everybody can, but think about it. You might know how to do a job, but what if you're working with people who just don't get you, who don't understand you, who don't think the same way you do? You eventually start to have problems on that team. All right, and number four is kind of the interesting one. I think it's kind of like the quid pro quo of crushing an intro call with a recruiter. You have to understand the recruiter's role in the process. Remember that if you get passed along and you get hired, they benefit just as well. So that's something to keep in mind. Why would you want to go into a screening call and make the person's job difficult for any kind of reason whatsoever? Their mindset is, I'm talking to this person. If I pass them along and they get hired, I benefit and they benefit because they got a job. That's the simplest equation to think of. I mean, it's so simple. All you have to do is be knowledgeable of the fact that you are there to benefit just like they are. So if the job says, do you have experience with this? And you do, simply explain it well enough so that they realize it would be a mistake not to pass you along. It would be beneficial to both parties if they did pass you along. It's really, really that easy. I notice sometimes people will maybe read some things on LinkedIn, and sometimes they go into screening calls with recruiters in this kind of combative environment, or this, trying to escalate things, maybe prove a point. All that stuff is nonsense, and it never helps you out. When you go into screening calls, it should really just be about these four simple things to recap. One, demonstrate that you can quickly cover the basics. Two, show that you're truly interested in the position. Three, show that you are a culture fit. And four, acknowledge that, you're aware if you pass me along and I get hired, both of us win here. So it'd be a good idea to pass me along because I am a culture fit. I can cover the basics, and I am really interested in working here. All right, well, that's the tip for today. That's simple and easy enough, how to crush an intro call with a recruiter. If you'd like more interview advice or interview preparation, I work at findmyprofession.com. I am a certified interview coach, and we have a team of reverse recruiters here that would love to help you with your job search. So remember, if you like videos like this too, click on like and subscribe below. We try to release videos every 2 weeks or so with great career advice to help you land a job soon. Thanks, and have a good one.